or a straight path for any success or achievement. There is means you have to find a loophole and you have to find a path, like how to achieve it. It is not like one obstacle comes and you have to stop there. You have to find other way around to achieve your, if you are very dedicated towards it.
Great, absolutely. It's a good example, very good example. So 3 beautiful examples started opening up as a part of our discussion. So that is a discussion we were having with Tejaswini. One example was regarding the mountain man that was shared by Rajneesh regarding that quote. Another example was of Lord Buddha, how he worked towards his enlightenment. And third, that was shared by Tejaswini regarding, can you please name the officer? I think he's from Arunachal Pradesh. Tejaswini, what is the name of the officer? Armstrong Palme, right? Yeah.
Armstrong Palme.
Armstrong Palme. So we were able to work out 3 beautiful examples. So others also keep thinking, what opened up for you? What were you able to reflect upon? Okay, perfect. So after our first activity that we did today, which is the question of the day, which was regarding this. So second hack of the day I want to share with you today before we go ahead. The hack of the day is with respect to how to stay focused and not get distracted. How many of you are facing distraction as a part of your preparation, where you're sitting and doing something and suddenly your mind will take over, or anything that comes around you turn? How many of you are facing that? You can raise your hand. How many of you are facing that? Anything, a notification on your mobile phone, or Instagram pop-up, or some sound outside, you react, right? Have you ever thought why that happens? What is the logic behind it? See, please understand, this mind here is designed in a way, and this mind has not evolved now. And I again generally keep quoting this. You are a product of an evolution of millions of years, okay? And how this mind is designed is, earlier, when you were a caveman, okay? When there is a sound in the bushes, it's either a threat or an opportunity, correct? So your mind knew only that, because if you don't immediately put your attention into that, your life is at threat, correct? So your mind is so tuned to things that if you're focusing on something and suddenly there's a sound, or there is some kind of a noise, or if some person is speaking, or there is a pop-up on your mobile phone, your mind is so tuned that you have to respond to it. Else, it feels that your life is under threat. Are you getting the point? So how do we ensure that your mind is focused? We all know that we have to focus, but how do we keep ourselves focused? That is the problem, right? How about we do a task? Are you all ready for a task that I want all of you to try right after this session? Type task in the chat box if you all are ready to try a task. Okay, I want you to actually take up this task for a week and let me know what you understood. Okay, what you learned from that. Right? Everyone ready? Yeah. So the task is very simple. The task is, I want you to tell your mind that you are safe, even if you don't respond. Okay, the response has to be a choice and not involuntary. Okay, how do you do that? Very, very simple. I want all of you to sit down any part of the day. Okay, focus on one object. Okay, focus on one object with your eyes open, and do not even move your eyes. Let your thoughts go what it wants. But if there is a distraction, 5 minutes, that's it. If you can't do 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Just sit down, keep looking at that object. Do not even turn your eyes, even though there is a sound, even though your mind is shouting, or even though your mind is asking you to turn and see what's going on. Are you all getting the logic here? When you do this task, you are telling your mind that if you don't respond also, you will be alive. There is no threat to your life. When you are able to convince your mind, you will notice that it will start focusing on things and actually not get distracted. Are you all clear with the task? But here I like to tell you, however, you might ask me, sir, what if someone comes into the house? You need to open the door. That moment, what do I need to do? there are some possible distractions that generally occur. So whenever you're sitting down for studies, you list down what all are the possible distractions that you can get and tackle them. However, beyond that, in case you need to address something, yes. Or else, can you do this task? Are you all clear with the task? Just keep your eyes open. Don't even move your eyes and just keep observing that particular thing for 5 minutes. Okay? Let your thoughts go wherever it wants, but let your focus be right there. You do not turn and look at things. Clear? Are you all clear? Type clear in the chat box if it is all clear. I want everyone to try this task for 1 week and let me know what happened within you when you're doing that. Okay? 5 minutes appears very short, but I want you to do it and try it and tell me. Are you all clear with the hack? So do the task that is being told, right? It's a simple task, but very, very powerful. I want you to try it. Okay? Task. Right? Any doubts on that? All clear? Super.
Can I add some point?
Yeah, please go ahead. Add on.
Yeah, actually, I have 1 hour sand clock, sir. 1 hour sand clock. It's like I am not using a normal clock so that I know what is going to happen. Like 45 minutes pending, 20 minutes pending, so that I can use phone for 5 minutes. But we end up on using for 20 to 30 minutes. So the thing is, I'm using a sand clock of 1 hour. I play National IAS Academy video 1 hour. I play with 1.5x. So I'm watching video. Suddenly something distraction happens. So that I will be an alert mode that I have more priority tasks than that. So again, I come to my work within 3 to 4 seconds. So that I will distract a lot, but I will end up making that 1 hour productive. Again, I will reverse the clock by taking 5 minutes break. And that way I'm able to finish 2 videos per day. Without with limited distraction.
Super. Thank you for sharing that. Super. That's the best practice. So you can use a Pomodoro clock, or you can use a sand clock like how Uday is using. So that will really help you get that focus. You need something, the ticking sound or the sand sound. It will let your mind get tuned to it that this is the time you have where you have to focus, and you tame your mind to do it. Your mind is there to get distracted. Understand that. Your mind has such neuronal connections where it will connect multiple things and you won't even know that it has connected. Things would happen in the fraction of a second. But if you actually figure out, you will notice that things are actually, connected. And if you know the connection and be conscious about it, you can bring back your mind on track. Okay, do that. It's all a focus game. Remember, you are in a world of distraction. The best of the brains in the world are working towards keeping you distracted. Your job is to bring back your focus on track. And that is the secret of your success, nothing else. The world's information is there with you. The tools are there with you. The mentors are there with you. And all that you need to do is learn to focus on what is there. Are you all clear? Super.
सर एक जस्ट मेरे को एक जो चीज ऑब्जर्व हुआ है मैं वो शेयर करना चाहता हूँ सर जो आपने भी जो बताया कि चूंकि वो मतलब हमारा जो इवोल्यूशन हुआ है और कोई भी चीज जब आवाज होती है तो हम
request, could you attempt to speak in English? That way you will also improve.
Okay sir, let me try sir. Actually sir, whatever you have told in the beginning, you said that our mind has evolved in a way that whenever a sound occurs, we either think that either it is an opportunity or a threat. So you asked us that keep a practice of 5 minutes. So sir, when we do the meditation, does it help the same thing like जो आपने भी बताया हमें करने के लिए वही चीज वहां पे भी वही होता है?
It does. That's a higher level. Not everyone does that. No. What happens in meditation, I'll tell you. When you close your eyes, you are opening your mind to the thoughts. Your thoughts are very much clear there. Correct. Here, there also, if you start focusing on observing the thoughts and let the thoughts keep going on, it will really build the neuronal connections, no doubt about it. But a little simpler technique to that is this, where you learn the art of focus, nothing else.
Yeah, even I know, meditation, sir, in the beginning, meditation is not easy at all because I have been doing it for last 5 to 7 years, and I know that it's not easy to do the meditation. So that's why actually मैं just वो एक मुझे logic मिला कि वो meditation में जो हम कर रहे हैं और जो आपने बताया तो मुझे लगा कि क्या ये related हो रहा है क्या? Thank you sir, मैं समझ गया.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is something that you can surely introduce you to your kids also into it, students also into it. That will really help them also to not react to everything, rather respond with a choice. If you wish to respond, you can respond. See, I'll tell you how involuntarily things have become. That if you get a notification on your mobile phone, involuntarily you take it and check it. Are you getting that? That involuntariness has to come down, and your mind should know that even if you do not respond to that, it is safe. As simple as that. This will have a long-term effect in place. Yeah.
एक चीज जो मुझे हेल्प किया था, अभी तो खैर मेरे को ठीक ठाक हो गया, लेकिन जस्ट मतलब मुझे बहुत इमेंसली हेल्प किया था. तो मैं क्या शेयर कर सकता हूँ वो चीज कि कैसे मैंने वो एक मोबाइल वाला जो चीज था जो मुझे तंग कर रहा था, तो मैंने उसको कैसे काउंटर किया था. सर, एक मोबाइल में स्क्रीन टाइम होता है. उस स्क्रीन टाइम को अगर आप किसी को भी भेज दो, जिससे कि लाइक जो आप पे मतलब थोड़ा स्ट्रिक्ट है, डिसिप्लिन है, या अपने पेरेंट्स को या अपने किसी को भी जो लाइक थोड़ा आपको डांट सकता है, वो भी चीज ना मदद करती है, क्योंकि वो दिमाग में एक अलर्टनेस बना हुआ होता है कि ज्यादा मोबाइल यूज कर रहे हैं और रात में भेजना पड़ेगा, तो फिर तो दिन का हिसाब आपको देना पड़ेगा ना, पूरे दिन का. यू हैव टू लाइक टेल देम कि अच्छा आपने पूरे 24 आवर्स को कैसे यूटिलाइज किया. एंड इट हैज हेल्प मी सर, जस्ट क्योंकि आई नो दैट कि दीज प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत ज्यादा ही वो ठीक नहीं होते हैं. हमें लगता है कि ठीक हो जाएगा, बट होता नहीं है. आप कितना भी करने की कोशिश करो, बट स्टिल. सर सॉरी, एक्चुअली मैं जब इंग्लिश में बोलता हूँ तो पता नहीं, ऐसे मैं इंग्लिश बोल पाता हूँ, बट पता नहीं यहाँ पे नहीं बोलता.
You can use this platform as a space for you to pick up. Are you getting it? That's the point.
Actually, I can speak in English, but here I don't know why I'm not able to speak in English. But I will work on it, sir. I will surely work on it, sir.
Absolutely.
So, sir, it has immensely helped me. If you can share your screen's timing, and even in a daytime, if you can look into it, that how much time you have used WhatsApps and all, then you will get a वो एक suddenly ना आपको एक मतलब एक ऐसा लगता है कि यार आई एम वेस्टिंग माय टाइम, और वो जो एक रियलाइजेशन होता है ना, फिर वो आपको थोड़ा धीरे धीरे सडनली तो नहीं होगा, बट धीरे धीरे मदद करता है वहां से बाहर निकलने.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Superb. Good. That's the best practice. Very good. Thank you, Rajneesh. Okay. Saying this, let's begin our review call and what's going on. Last week, I think there was a slight error because of which many of you could not get the link. So now it's back on track. I want to know what all everyone is doing. So let's begin one by one. And okay, let's begin with you itself, Rajneesh. Did you attend the test this week?
सर एक्चुअली जहां तक मेरी आपसे बात हुई थी, तो मेरे को पता था कि आज पॉलिटी का टेस्ट है. और आज मुझे जो पेपर मिला सर वो एंशिएंट का था, तो मतलब मैं तो पूरा
the timetable was wrong, is it? Weren't you given the timetable, Rajneesh?
I did not get any timetable, sir. Maybe
okay.
Ma'am has forgotten.
Fine. Okay. Please, you'll get the timetable. I think there's a small.
And sir, this week, sir, मुझे पटना ट्रैवल करना पड़ा है. मतलब मम्मी की तबीयत मेरी बहुत खराब हो गई थी, तो मतलब मैं पिछले 6-7 दिनों से बहुत ही कम पढ़ पाया.
Okay, fine, no problem.
ज्यादा तो पढ़ाई हुई नहीं थी, लेकिन स्टिल आई हैव वर्क. मतलब मैंने पॉलिटी ऑलमोस्ट कर लिया था, लेकिन सेटिस्फैक्टरी पढ़ाई नहीं हुई है, और वो एक थोड़ा सा बैलेंस भी लूज हुआ था, लेकिन अभी मैं वापस ट्रैक पे हूं सर.
Okay. Satisfaction in studies is something very subjective. Okay. The satisfaction should be in the performance, not in the studies. This is one perspective change I like to give. Every student has their own perception of satisfaction. For example, some students feel satisfied if they have read the book 5 times. Some people feel satisfied if they have solved all the questions. Some people feel satisfied by reading not 1 book, but 5 books. It's very subjective. So this is something that everyone should note. Do not go by the satisfaction of the study. Go by the satisfaction of the performance in the test. That is your true parameter. Getting the idea? I'll tell you, even the final day of the exam, if tomorrow is prelims, your mind will say, I'm not satisfied enough with the way I studied. I should have studied. Even before the paper came, you'll be like, I should have studied this, I should have studied that. If you start channeling your energy of your mind to what you have not done, okay, that will get emphasized. Focus on what you have done, and with what you have done, how to perform. Clear, Rajneesh?
Yes, sir. जो आपने बोला सर, चूंकि मेरी थोड़ी हैबिट हो गई थी कि मतलब मैं मेरे को ऐसा लगता था कि since I am having so much control over me, so I can study the way I want, and even I was doing it. But jab ye ghatna ghati, so then after that I have lost the complete balance, and after that even I was getting time to read, but still I was not able to do that. And then I realized that okay, because the kind of perception that you made about yourself, that okay, you can study for 13 hours, 12 hours, and even if you don't study for like even if you're studying for 8 hours, you are not feeling good. So that's the realization that I have got this week. So that don't have the perception that okay, you will be able to do that much, because that ultimately if it is not going to be fulfilled, it is going to be like you will have the like low mindset and all, and ultimately even the next day it will impact your studies. So whatever you are doing and whatever you are able to do, that just be happy with it, and try to do as much as you can whenever you are getting the time.
Absolutely. So balance in
That's
things
the
is
deep
very important.
realization that I have got, and one concept that I have learned, that the balance is very much required in every aspect of the life. The balance, I don't know, like, but everywhere I'm seeing that whatever we are doing, we are trying to maintain the balance. There is nothing right and wrong, but ultimately the balance between the studies and the family. And you have said so many times, but I have never got the realization of it, sir. But this week, since I was the kind of environment that I was having, and I was not able to study, and at the same time I was thinking that okay, my family also need the time, then I realized that why the sir was telling in the beginning of the PRC, like in the I as I remember that initially you were telling too many times that maintain the balance, but I have never realized that why the balance is required. But this week I have realized it, sir, that balance is highly required to go steadily.
Absolutely. Making the preparation sustainable. That's the key, right? You're not preparing for 5 days, 10 days. You're preparing for close to a few months. It's a long exam. So it has to be sustainable. Only then you will not burn out. Else you will burn out and you will literally start hating the process. It should not happen.
Sir, you say so many things, sir, but when you say it doesn't click, sir. Until the वो जब तक वो experiment नहीं होता है, until the experiment happens in your life, वो सर समझ में नहीं आता है. But yes, I realize कि when you say it is in our mind, and I always think कि ये idea तो मेरे पास था, लेकिन ये use मैं नहीं कर रहा था. I was going in a different way. I was always going in a different way, क्योंकि एक अलग thinking होती है. जैसे आप जब बोल रहे हो तो मेरी एक अलग thinking हो रही थी. अरे मैं तो कर लूंगा, because वो एक अंदर में एक बैठा हुआ है कि since I do meditation, yoga and all, I am having a full command. Why do I need the balance the way I want? But when the challenges came, then I realized no balance. Why the balance is required?
Got it. So,
thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Super. See, this is a normal thing. That is why we have these implementation sessions, these performance review calls, where constantly my job is to mirror you people. I am only there to help you all to reflect what mistakes you're doing or what challenges you're facing, what best practices you're following, right? And that is only will come in. And end of the day, only a person will only agree when they experience the truth, right? So this is the key. Okay. So when others are sharing, now this is something everyone should take. Now Rajneesh has shared from his life experience, from his journey of realization. Everyone who is missing this out should be wise enough to take it and start effectively implementing it. At least take that first step forward, right? Super.
No,
Super.
one advice to all the members here, whatever sir is saying, never ignore it. Just keep in mind, it is having a बहुत vast impact होता है, क्योंकि वो इतना आसान होता नहीं, हम नहीं समझ पाते हैं, बट वो जब समझ में आता है तब उसकी वैल्यू समझ में आती है. बट उसमें बहुत बार हमारा समय चला जाता है, लॉस्ट हो जाता है. तो मतलब ये मेरा एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि सर की हर बात ये मैंने जो सीखा है पिछले 3-4 महीनों में, जो मेरी अपनी रियलाइजेशन है कि जर्नी बहुत वास्ट नहीं है, बट द काइंड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन वी गेट फ्रॉम सम, जितने सारे इंफॉर्मेशन हमें मिलते हैं, और सर का जो आइडिया है अबाउट द प्रीलिम्स, अबाउट द मेंस, अबाउट द इंटरव्यू, सब बहुत वर्केबल है. लेकिन जस्ट हमारे जो परसेप्शंस बनाए गए हैं हमारे लिए, इसी की वजह से जर्नी हमें बहुत डिफिकल्ट फील होती है. मेरे को सर वो धीरे धीरे सर क्लैरिटी मिल रही है, एंड दैट्स द रीजन सर आई एम फीलिंग कॉन्फिडेंस.
Good, Rajneesh. Okay. So next week, get your timetable and start things clearly. And I think it's a mistake from our side. The timetable should have been set properly. We'll do it. No problem. Okay. Yeah.
No, I have studied the environment last week also, sir. Environment I have revised. No, I have not revised 100%, but still I have revised. This week also I have revised the polity. I'm also having 2 to 3 days engagement since my brother marriage is on
Okay, please.
15. So I will be joining. I will be having the normal routine
Start
from
next
17.
week. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good. Okay. Anusha, how's your preparation going? And how's your test practice going on? Anusha, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Anusha. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Great. Please tell me, how's your preparation going and how are your test practices happening?
Tests, I'm doing it regularly, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I was out of station, so I couldn't take it on that day, but I took it on Tuesday or something.
Okay.
This week I have taken the test. I've attended the test.
Mm-hmm.
Last week and this week, my scores are a little low, sir. I was not able to revise.
What
And
were
I had
you?
not
What was your diagnosis of that? Why do you think it happened?
That was because first thing was prepared optimally for the last test and this test.
Mm-hmm.
And previous tests, geography, strong area, and I do remember. I mean, my basics are good in that, so I was able to manage with geography and the first test of environment.
Mm-hmm.
Last test, mostly it was current affairs, and it was mostly based on the conventions and that one. I didn't get time to revise on that, so because of that, I mean, it was mostly content based. I had not.
Okay. So the content was a challenge and the revision was a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the same with today's test.
Okay. So, so in this regard, are you rechecking the notes that you have done earlier and checking
Yes,
upon
sir.
and the feedback that was provided by sir? Did you reflect upon it? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
The
Anusha, this is
feedback-
what I want to tell you here. Okay. Your intuition with respect to solving questions, it's already there. Okay. You have done it once, you have cleared your state services. Now, the thing is, the same intuition comes even for UPSC. It's just about reorganizing the content in your mind, followed by the practice. Okay. So today's mentoring call with sir, I want you to share these things and get to know the strategies. In my opinion, it is more towards the content aspect if you work upon and learn through the questions you're done. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Anusha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please do that. Yeah. Good.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Devika, how did your week go by? How was what happened as a part of your test today?
So the test went well, and I did revision this week
Hmm.
because in modern history I hadn't touched much, so I also started it with and ancient and medieval. I was able to do it by Thursday.
Very good.
So
Okay.
this
Today's
week it
syllabus was ancient and medieval, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Good. And any mistakes you committed today, according to you?
For the test or otherwise?
Otherwise, test. Mainly of doing the test, right? Any best practice and mistake that you did today, this week?
So best practice, as Uday mentioned, he uses a sand clock. I use my stopwatch while I'm reading the chapters because it's very tedious. Modern, the old NCERTs are a bit boring. So that I start a stopwatch and give it a pause. The time I start overthinking because the phone is there is no notification sound, but we tend to move to places while studying. So I used the stopwatch to know how many hours I have studied. There was a bit of things I couldn't remember. So that was the area I faced problem in today's test.
Absolutely. Good. Okay. Here, from your point, I want to add on one thing. When it comes to medieval India, generally things get a little boring if you do it from the books, actually, correct? And
Yes.
medieval as such, different people have different tastes. Some people enjoy medieval, some people don't. Okay. Some enjoy ancient, some enjoy modern, things are like that. So what you need to do is, if you go to the back side of the book, especially the NCRT, you'll have all the keywords mentioned. So another fun way of reading it is, once you know the whole subject and other things, one way is you going through the index and brainstorming what all you remember. For example, you can divide the entire ancient India into 8 parts. And when you divide the entire ancient India into 8 parts, let us say you begin with prehistoric age. So when I say prehistoric age, what all aspects are there in the prehistoric age? Okay, prehistory, Chalcolithic age, right? All those aspects you divide it. Okay, and once in that, what all do you remember? Like that, you go on brainstorming based on the index. That's one way. In the back side, if you see, in the alphabetical order, the keywords that are mentioned in the textbook are mentioned. So you can check, are you familiar with those keywords? You can check on that. Also, if you are not at all familiar with the keyword, can you go back into that section of the page and actually see what that is about? Right? For example, once they had asked a question regarding, in art and culture, they had asked regarding Tribanga. So what was that related to? So it was a keyword in the last page. So it was asked as a question in prelims. Okay. So if you knew that word familiarity, you would have been able to eliminate the option. That's one way. Another way is you can go to the last 25 years of question paper link. I think you asked me that link, right? Did you get that, Devika?
No, sir.
Okay. I will once again, Kaveri, please note this. We need to send the previous year 25-year question paper topics link to all the students again. Okay. Yeah. So Devika, that will be sent. So that is another way of doing it. So when you go to the previous year question paper document and do it, it will be very, very simple. That will really help you think more about it. Clear?
Sure, sir. So for rest of the subjects, I do make mind maps, which help me do the same practice. Because in mind maps, I'm not noting everything, just few points or in a flowchart manner. But this time, I just completed ancient and medieval. So I read the text, so I started with text first.
Okay, sure. So every test, you can actually do an additional activity. Like, for example, you have gone through the videos and made your notes, correct?
Yes,
One,
sir.
you can revise your notes along with the textbook as an additional activity, or take your subject and link it to current affairs also an additional activity. So every time you're doing a third revision or second revision or third revision, rather than limiting it here, you can expand your knowledge base, one, through an additional activity, and through the questions also. Remember, I again told you last week, I was mentioning this. The idea of the test series in the subject-wise test is we want you to read more. We want you to get connected with all the areas of the fringe areas of the subject, which is generally ignored. So in the subject-wise test, the questions that are touched upon could be on a very broader area rather than general questions. But when it comes to the full test, the questions where UPSC repeats regularly, where UPSC focuses, and what is in current affairs, that specifically will come as a question. So after the question paper is done, that is today, the evening can be spent, today and tomorrow can be spent in getting in touch with all those areas that have been touched in the question paper and learn from the questions and move ahead to the next subject for the next week test. Devika, clear?
Yes, sir.
This is a method that you can do. Micro brainstorming, working through the questions and building your knowledge base is the key for overall building the subject knowledge. Okay.
Yes, sir. And so with regards to the test, by now I haven't started the practice of going with the sure shot or the elimination technique. Now I am just focusing on completing all the questions, like attempting all of them.
Good,
So
good.
is that a bad practice?
The last part, can you repeat? What was it?
So right now, as it's the subject test, so we will have to cover all the questions, at least try them. So in these tests, what I'm doing is not going with identifying which are my short questions and for which I use the guesswork.
No, it is very important to go in that strategy only. First round, I want you to go ahead, answer all the questions that you know. as a sure shot, or that you are able to eliminate in the question. Okay. In the second round, you can go with a logical guess in attempting the question. It should not be that you don't know anything about the question and you've just blindly attempted it. There should be a logic. There should be a derivation of how did you come to the point. Clear,
Okay.
Devika?
Yes,
If
sir.
you do not have an idea about the question, we are not expecting you to attempt it. But if you have an idea on the question, how will you go ahead and attempt it? This is the key. So you should first play your game with sure shot and elimination. And then after that, in case you want to take a chance, you can go with elimination. And sorry, logical guess. Clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we'll hear out how other students are doing. So you'll get a clear idea. Please ask this question again so that, you know, to sir also, he will also give you a very good idea. Okay.
सर जो
Rajesh?
अभी डिस्कशन सर जो डिस्कशन हो रहा था उसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि सर जैसे मतलब जो पार्ट टेस्ट्स हैं उसमें उन सब एरियाज को टेस्ट किया जा रहा है जो शायद बहुत ज्यादा नहीं पूछे जाते हैं और
No,
फिर
not बहुत ज्यादा नहीं पूछ जाता है. Like it has been asked, or it has chances of being touched upon, but generally it's not the general areas that UPSC touches. That's what.
okay, okay, sir. So,
Okay. कोई
okay.
randomly नहीं see, understand one thing. Every question that has been asked in the test series has a logic behind it. Either
Okay.
it has been come in the previous year questions and it has its relevance this year, or it is in current affairs. That's it. Got it?
Got it, sir.
Randomly, there are thousands of questions that you can create, but that's not the point here. We have to operate on the psychology of the examiner. That is how it is designed. Yeah. I'm
Got it,
telling
sir.
you right now because in case you feel that your scores are dipping in spite of reading the normal stuff and everything, there is an opportunity for you to learn. This is what I'm trying to tell. You will face a lot of challenges and difficulties. Please understand, this is a learning process. You will be operating in this mindset. The mindset is whatever I've studied, I'm ensuring that I'm answering it best. My accuracy should be the focus. If accuracy is missing, that is going wrong. Whatever you know, you should ensure that you have hit it right. Whatever you don't know, you learn from the question paper. That's how you go.
No, I'm following the same stat जो भी आपने बताया. I'm doing only that. So अब ज़्यादा समय मैं waste नहीं कर सकता.
Yeah. So every 2 to 3 tests once, sir will be analyzing your scores, and based on that, he will be giving the feedback. Your score is the thing that will determine not how good or bad you are. Please understand, everyone is a good student. Okay. So it is all about what strategy you should follow to improve the range of your marks. That's all is the key. Got it? Okay. So prepare and attempt. No, and one more thing I want to tell all of you. Please, no looking good here. Someone is getting 120 plus, 130 plus. I also need to put the score as a little higher. Let me put 10 marks more, 15 marks more. How will it look good, you know, if I'm scoring 5 marks or negative marks? Please, you are cheating yourself. Please don't do those things. No one is judging you here. We are only here to learn and grow. Even if you get 0, it is okay. We want to know why you are getting wrong and work towards that. Okay, no looking good here. Okay, thank you. Super. Okay, next. Next is Sindhu. Please share how did your test go by and what best practices you followed. Sindhu.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I just revised the notes made from the classes we had. And I have practiced the technique told by sir, that is to work upon the technique. And I
Can you
also
elaborate a little bit on that, please?
Yeah, sir. The technique what sir told is that to know why I am choosing a answer as correct answer. So today, while giving the test and also while solving the PYQs, I just gave a thought that why I'm picking this answer as right and why other answers are wrong. So when I'm thinking like that, sometimes even if I am confused with answers, I was like, no, this is wrong. This is wrong because of this reason, and this may be relatively right because of this reason. And because of that technique, I'm able to score the best score this time. So I thought I have to work more on this technique.
Very good. Superb.
And one more thing is, I also worked on reducing the stress levels. Like when I'm giving the exam, I felt so stressed. So because of the stress, I'm so confused with the answers. So this time I just felt that I can answer only when I am cool. And that too helped me a lot to think upon the questions and answers.
Absolutely. I can surely vouch on that because your mind will only function better when you are cool. If you are stressed, it will not even think. Clear. This is what I call as living the resistance. Live the resistance. And I always tell this example. Think like you're going for a drawing competition. Okay, not for UPSC exam. I want you to go back to your schools and remember, how was your drawing competition exam? Were you so stressed before the drawing competition, or you went with a calm mind and sat down and drew the art out, correct? So that is the way you should go to your prelims exam. Sit down. Every question that you encounter, you should appreciate how the question is designed and what is the keyword. And the focus of yours should not be to find the right answer. The focus should be to eliminate the option. What clue you're getting to eliminate that option? That's all. So when you operate in that mindset and constantly work, you will go on seeing your opportunities to tackle the right questions and get your answer. Thank you, Sindhu. Very good tips you have shared. I want everyone to focus on these tips so that you are able to improve your scores. Super. Okay. Mamta, do you like to share?
Hi, Sumanth.
Hi, Mamta. Yeah.
Yeah, mine, like I couldn't able to do anything since 2 weeks, Sumanth. I had like got up with some work because of that. Because a few things like the mandatory task which we have to do, we have to complete. So that and all deadline we had. So that is the reason. But this week I'm able to revise the ancient history and medieval history as part of the notes that earlier I had. A couple of videos I had gone through, but as for the test point of view, I couldn't able to complete all the recorded sessions as well. So just to take up the test, I had earlier notes, so I had gone through that. I have to take the test, Sumanth.
Please. Okay. Whatever weeks you have missed, it's okay.
Yes.
You focus on the next week, but
sure,
to ensure that you attend the discussion and get to know things. One option. Or second option is you can be a part of the March batch and take this time out to revise. But my recommendation is don't do that. Let that flow go. A week on week, you will go. It's a 20-week plan. So you will be on track. Else what will happen? You end up giving more importance to one subject and less to the rest. Less to the rest. So don't do that.
But I was going through I was listening today's discussions with other friends. So that input's also helping me because whatever the techniques they're following and all they're telling. So that is also helping me to just prepare with the flow.
Absolutely. So do that. And this is the key, Mamta. Only if you involve, you will get to know how will you firefight. The game is all about firefighting. If I push you into a place of fire, how you come out is your talent, correct? So I have to push you into the test series. So with your skill sets, how will you firefight to come out with meeting the cutoff? That you should fight and come back with the realizations. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Please participate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, Purvi, how's your journey going?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Like after a long time, I haven't been in performance class since like 1.5 months now.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I was suffering from COVID, so that is the reason I haven't been studied anything the whole January. And I started again. I only left with the polity subject. I started polity, and almost I completed like 50% of polity. Now I'm like speed upping the things to rest of the syllabus. And I talked to Kaveri ma'am also since I have missed the test series. So ma'am said from again March there will be a new batch for prelims test series. So I can join there, like ma'am said.
Yeah. And are you giving the exam this time, Purvi?
Yes, I applied.
Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah. I mean, have you completed your optional subject?
Like my optional is political science and international relations, sir. So I was doing both at the same time.
Okay, fine. Then pace up. I think I noticed that you have completed most of the subjects and geography, history. So I think economy and economy is only pending for you as a part of your prelims oriented syllabus, correct? So
I'll know, sir. I completed the economic classes also.
even that is completed. Okay, good. Okay, so only this is pending. Good. So then go ahead with the flow. There's nothing that will stop you now. So you can accordingly go ahead with the flow and get back on track. Whatever time you have wasted, it's okay. Whatever is now available, you start from there. In the next cycle of full test, you will be able to complete. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. Super. Any other challenges?
Sir, like, sir, actually, when I completed this, like 40-50% of the syllabus, like I have been like past years, my past preparation test series, I have took some of them. I attempted those, and it was for like 50 questions for 100 marks, and I attempted like half of like 30 questions in that. I got a pretty good score in that, like 53 marks. But only 5 or 6 are wrong. But like I'm not able to like give more answers. Like for 50 questions, I really wanted to attempt like minimum 40-45 like that, but I'm not going further. I don't know why.
No. This is where this mindset has to change, Purvi. This is not like a maths exam. Understand this. Only when you know a subject, a concept, and only when you know how to derive the solution of the question, you will be able to answer that question, right? What if out of 50 questions, we design a paper where you don't know 40 questions? Does it mean that you don't know history at all? No, right? So, for example, any subject I'm telling you. See, this is a very, very subjective exam where the questions could come from different areas, either from previous year question inspired, or it can be from the current affairs inspired concepts. Clear? So, focus on the derivation of the solution, as Sindhu rightly shared. Focus on why you are attempting a point as right and why you are going wrong, and focus on how you are solving the question. If you're not able to solve the question, then you work on whether it is lack of conceptual clarity or is it the lack of skill. If it's lack of conceptual clarity, improve the concept. But if it is lack of skill, get to know why you could not attempt, what mistake you did. For example, there are some students who just don't understand not questions. If something is given as not, they're so positive in life that not will not come to the mind at all. They'll just go ahead with the question. Some students are not good at match the following questions. Some students are not good at assertion and reason questions. What is your weakness? You should know that. Clear, Purvi? So that should not be the approach. I mean, solving random questions, please don't go like that at this stage. Rather, you work on the previous year questions clearly, one by one, actively knowing why a statement is correct, why a statement is wrong, and then invest your time on your notes and the test series now. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
Because you asked me why I don't know why I'm not going forward with more questions, right? The idea is very simple. Yes, either it is lack of concept or lack of skill. If it's lack of skill, analyze why you went wrong. If it's lack of concept, go back to the concept and learn the concept and go back and answer that question. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sure. Sir.
Yeah. Right. But this internal dialogue that you're having with your mind, this should be avoided. Are you understanding? It's like you are telling your mind, oh, Purvi, you're not able to solve the question now. How will you solve prelims? This is the kind of a message you are telling your mind. Okay. Your mind will be like, oh, is it? Oh, you are in a panicky situation. Then I need to worry. So it will start giving you anxiety and you will start getting more and more anxious and stress. Remember, your conscious mind is like your keyboard. Your subconscious mind is like the processor. When you're typing on the keyboard, will the keyboard differentiate and correct you? No, right? Whatever you type, it will come. So whatever you're feeding your mind right now will be the product of how you feel as a part of your preparation. Remember this. All of you remember, the amount you study is not the way is not directly proportional to the way you feel. Remember that. There are students who studied superbly well, but still they'll be fearing. They'll not clear the exam. Okay. So this is something that I want to tell Purvi. The internal dialogue should be very careful on how you're talking to your mind. I have done whatever I know. Gratitude. And whatever questions I could not solve, let me know what I did not solve. And once you get to know why you did not solve, can you be grateful that, wow, I learned it now. So next time I'll not repeat this. This should be the mindset. Every time you don't know something, there's an opportunity for you to learn something before the exam. Clear, Purvi? This mindset should be there for everyone. Okay?
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay, super.
Thank you, sir.
Right, thank you. Next. Next is Premavati. How's your
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yes.
Sir, I have been looking at the recorded sessions. I have completed geography 25 classes and environment tonight will be completing the full portion.
Wow.
What I feel bad about myself is I'm very less productive during the daytime and I'm more productive during the night time. So I feel very, very, very less during the day. I couldn't, even if I want to sit and study, I will be feeling very bored to sit and study. But during night, I was very happy to stay on studying. So is there any tips to make it very productive in the daytime, sir?
Okay. See, actually, to tell you the fact, there's no right and wrong here. Everyone has their own prime time. Some are very good at morning, some are very good at noon, some are good at night, etc. Okay. So whichever is your prime focus time, you study that time. But ensure that it's not going too extreme that when the exam time comes, we are expected to wake up early in the morning and perform. Premavati, getting the point. So the idea is very simple, making it as a habit. So what you can do, you can divide your preparation into 80-20, where 20% of your time you study in the morning, 80% of the time you study in your prime time. Clear? That push of or doing activities which involve the least effort, that you can try doing it in the morning. Where your focus is needed more, that you can do it at night. For example, if you are listening to the news on air, can you listen to the news on air in the morning? Clear.
Yes,
and the study related sessions, you can do it at night. Or another way, if you're solving the questions, which is involving your active mind, that you can do in the morning. Class listening, note making, which is a pretty monotonous task, that you can do it at night. This way you can try. Clear? But there's nothing wrong, okay, that you are focused, but that's how your body type is, that's how your mind is designed. So go ahead with that, but ensure that this pattern, as you get close to the exam, you need to rework on ensuring that you are active by 8 a.m. in the morning, so that 10 to 12 when the exam is there, you are alert. That's all.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Good, Premavati. Good progress. Keep up the pace and do well. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Uday, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Sir, I completed environment 80%, sir. Within
Very
2
good.
days, I will be finishing an environment. After finishing, I will try to make mind maps. Like I didn't make any mind maps. I was focusing on completing one subject completely, because in geography also I have 10 pending videos.
Okay. Why did you jump to environment directly without completing geography completely?
Sir, it's like I missed a few days because of festival in January. So I'm completing them on weekends. Like Saturday, Sunday, I'm finishing extra 2 hours to finish those. So by end of February, I will complete the trio, sir. Like science and tech, I will start by next week. So by end of February, I will complete all 3.
Okay. One suggestion here. Once you complete the subject, don't get into the mind map making separately if you haven't done naturally. Rather, you work on the previous year questions first, and there your mental mind maps will start building. After that, in case you want, you can do it. That will be helpful.
It's like to answer some question, I need to have some knowledge, right? Like if I
No,
want
no.
to do brainstorming also, I can't do without like
Okay.
like if I
No.
studied something on week 1, I'm giving exam on week 4 or 5. Like I can't recollect
No.
week 1.
No, this
So
is what I'm telling. Don't go in the test format as a part of the previous year questions right now. You are just exposing your mind to the new content, right? So keeping your notes, you take out the question, and on each question, you try to see if you had done that in your notes or what do you remember about it, and if you are able to come down to the answer. That's
okay, open book system.
Open book system. So do the open book system after your first reading. That will help you build your mind map in your mind. For example, if like say, you solve, let's say, a question on climate protocols. Okay. You come across Rio de Janeiro summit, Kyoto protocol, Montreal protocol. Those kind of options will come across. There you will notice that Montreal protocol is towards ozone. Kyoto protocol, what exactly happened? What happened in the climate summit? All those things you will start getting to know. So when you solve 3-4 questions related to it, so when you close your mind, when related to the evolution of the climate summits, you will have everything arranged in your mind. The data will be arranged in your mind. That time, based on that, you can actually create some kind of diagrams. Uday, getting the idea?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. So all of you, if you have completed the subject, go with the previous year questions directly. See, why are we studying? End of the day, we are studying to clear the exam, understanding the exam. So first understand the exam. Here, one more thing, Uday, I like to tell you is even the mains topics. After you finish your prelims topics, mains questions you take. And on each question, get to know what perspective they are touching upon. For example, if it is climate change conventions, what angles they're touching upon regarding climate change conventions. Okay, those things. So if you just mention the demand area, your focus right now is collecting the raw material. When the raw material is correct, whatever they ask you, you can modify the raw material and deliver them. Clear?
Okay.
So this is what you need to do. So after your subject, do that. Clear? Okay. So during the initial phases, focus on building the raw material. Okay. Good. Anyone I missed out? All
so like I solved some questions in this way regarded environment, sir. Like I'm using with like if I don't have any knowledge also, I'm checking the statement, sir, the behavior of statement. Like they say, right, if you plant good seeds, the outcome is good. If you plant bad seeds, the outcome is bad. So I'm reading the statement. If it's a positive statement, I'm searching for positive options and I'm eliminating the negative options.
No, no, you're talking about mains question or prelims question?
No, the prelims options eliminating. I'm checking the statement question.
With which subject is that question coming in?
No, sir, general questions.
No general question. You have to be specific on the example.
In previous year, I took previous year questions book, Arihan's.
Okay.
And in that questions, if I don't have any knowledge also, I'm checking the statement behavior, like if it's a positive statement or negative statement. Like
it's a correct statement or a wrong statement?
Like if the statement is deforestation, it's a negative statement because deforestation is a bad thing. Statement is about.
Okay, you're talking about a technique, is it?
Yeah, technique.
Yeah. Those techniques evolve. I'll tell you, you will evolve with a lot of new techniques, and you will be surprised how those techniques are working and how it's helping out. Clear. So that will really good. So that is what you need to learn. Okay. So as I showed you last time, for example, here in 2010 question, biodiversity hotspot are located only in tropical region. Only. Why only in tropical region? Can't there be a biodiversity hotspot outside? This is something to check. Okay, this is a technique. Though you don't know exact examples, always understand in environment, especially like an environment related subject where biodiversity is involved. You cannot come to a standard conclusion. For example, earlier they thought corals are found only at the surface level. Now we have corals even in the cold water and not at the surface level also. Right? Are you getting? Are all are all mammals are only the egg laying animals? If you talk like that, not necessary. There are animals which are not mammals yet lay eggs. I'm sorry. There are mammals who also lay eggs. Okay, there are some kind of options. There is some kind of a variation always. Then India has 4 biodiversity hotspots: Eastern Himalayas, Western Himalayas, Western Ghats, Andaman Nicobar Islands. So this is a fact. We learned something new here. Okay, what is unique in this? If you want to know a little more, you can do a little bit research about it over. So in this, regarding the biodiversity hotspot, we learned that it is not only in tropical regions, it is in other areas also. So get to know overall what are the biodiversity hotspots in the world. And these are the biodiversity hotspots. So what you can do, you can go to Google and see the image. So biodiversity hotspots in the world. Okay. So you go to the image. So here you'll notice that biodiversity hotspots are there spread across. Are you noticing this? It's not only in the tropics, it is also even beyond that. So this way, you can actually get to know this. See, look at this map, right? So now let us say, see, look at all the red regions. So Tropic of Cancer will come here. Tropics are here. So we have biodiversity hotspots even beyond that. Yeah. So like that, you can try to find the answer.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Okay. Technique is good, but check if it's working.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So let's come back to our learnings. Good learnings we got today. So quickly we will find the learnings. So hack of the day, I want everyone to try the hack. I want everyone to do this task. 5-minute challenge. Okay. Next, regarding the test series, content and revision needs to be done, else the scores will not pick up. This is very important. For history, you can brainstorm the content based on the index and also the topics at the back. Okay. Some NCRTs have the topics at the back, some don't. Whichever has, you please go through that. Getting familiar with the content, that is the key. And I'm not sure what it is. Okay. Revise the notes and work on the technique. Why one is choosing the right answer and why others are wrong. This kind of an active analysis helps you in better scoring. Okay. And reduce the stress levels, be absolutely calm, and learn this art of being cool and thinking of what are the possibilities to answer the question. Okay. It is okay if you get a low score, but the focus should be on how you're deriving the answer. Okay. And the best practice is sharing the screen time with your accountability partners, as Rajini shared, having a sand clock or a stopwatch to be more focused. Focus should be on satisfaction of studies and should not be on, focus should not be on satisfaction of studies. It should be on satisfaction of performance and scores as your indicator. How satisfied you're feeling as studying, okay? If you focus on that, you will go on studying and not practice. So this should be the focus. Okay? And the rest is a part of the preparation. Ensure that there is balance in your preparation to make it sustainable. And during the initial preparation, focus on building the raw material towards the subject. And once the subject is done, go directly with the previous year questions, and then you can do the mind map. Okay. So the only challenge that was shared was Premavati. So when it comes to waking up in the morning, Premavati, are you a part of the 5 a.m. challenge?
Yes, sir. I'm the part of 5 a.m. club and I'm doing it correctly, sir.
Okay.
I'm waking up early.
Good. That itself is that will help you get used to things. Okay. Right. Okay. Super. So super participation. So I wish you all another productive week ahead. Any kind of challenge, I'm again repeating, the mentor is available to you. Kaveri ma'am is available to you. I am available to you, right? Regarding the test series, Gorky sir is available to you. So whoever it is, okay, you can get in touch. Academic doubts, get things clarified from ma'am and keep moving forward. Don't keep anything to yourself. Any academic and strategic doubts, please be a part of the performance review call to get things clarified here. And test series, please feel free to ask questions to Gorky sir. Get to know where you are going wrong, what is missing out, and do the tasks that he is providing so that you improve your range. The 10 test bracket of subject wise is for you to build your raw material and get to know which subject you're weak and strong. And when it comes to the full test, it's all about building the range, building your accuracy and your performance. So within this subject wise tests only, get everything clarified. Okay, right? Thank you so much. And I wish you all an amazing week ahead.